In today's episode, I am pleading with you to fail.
This is how legends are made.
So hi there guys, thanks for joining me on today's episode. I'm Ben Jackson and I give free coaching advice, things that I think can benefit you guys, things that I've learned from my personal experience through client sessions, and literally just draining me of anything that's going to give you some benefit and give you the chance to do what you want, overcome barriers, and really get the life that you're after, or just kind of manage a few challenging situations at the very least. So this today is something that I know I've returned to before, and I'm going to carry on and go on up again as I kind of explore it further and define it better. I want you to fail more often than you probably are. I just have so many conversations where the idea that success is inherent in life is really a strongly held belief. And it's one that's grounded, as you probably will experience, in a lack of reality. In fact, the realities we experience, problems, setbacks, challenges, obstacles, on a very regular basis. Yet we are completely underskilled to handle it. And as I meet more people, get involved in more conversations about this, it feels that we are really living in a system, maybe it's based more on education, that doesn't allow us to fail, doesn't allow us to make mistakes. I mean, if you take the example like university, for those who have gone, I'm not too sure that university really allows failure to happen. It always allows you options. You can change a module, you can do this, you can do that. You have a first, second and third types of degrees. You will be supported throughout the whole journey where you are buffered from failure. Now I know that some of the A levels in the UK, you get at least one resit, but you get a resit, you get a chance, and that's not always the case when it comes to the real world. Sometimes when you get the one shot and it doesn't work out, when you have to adjust, we're still buffered in some way. And the failure we class as a negative, but what if we classed it as the only thing we should aim to do? And success is the cousin or the offshoot, if you like, of failure. In fact, maybe we make failure and how to handle that in a positive way our goal. I don't believe we're set up to succeed as often as we're led to believe. And I kind of had a conversation recently, and this little story which I think is a nice analogy to it. There was a mum who was in labour, giving birth to their first child. Before the birth had happened, it was made clear that she had OCD. She had a very obsessive compulsive disorder regarding germs and cleanliness. The point being, she'd asked for the baby to be kind of cleaned or wiped down before it was passed to her, to remove germs both for her or for the baby. Now, I'm not sure how people will react to hearing that story, but how I heard it was exactly the point I'm trying to make. We cannot wipe clean failure. We have to embrace it. Germs exist to create our immunization. We need exposure to these things to actually be safe, to handle infections, to handle colds. We have to build up our resilience to the colds and to the illnesses through exposure. Look at what vaccines are made of. In majority, maybe in part, they're made up of the original cultures of the cold or the illness that we're trying to prevent. Our body has to learn through being exposed to it to then overcome it. We can't wipe kind of ourselves clean and only allow success. We are immunizing ourselves from success by doing that. We need to expose ourselves to failure. We need to expose ourselves to the dirt and the muck and allow ourselves to evolve and grow and take that on board and rise again and come back stronger. I would like you to go forward in the next few days thinking of this story, realizing that this is not just me saying embrace failure. This is evolution. This is your human body telling you the only way I'm going to learn is by experiencing it, and I'll take it on board and I'll improve. This is what we have to do. This is the approach we learn. Insulating ourselves from failure and placing ourselves in the belief that success is inevitable sets us up for disappointment, sets us up for questioning our self-worth, our confidence, our self-esteem. This is where the immunization needs to happen, where we can reinforce those things. The self-worth, self-esteem and the confidence are so important. Kind of another analogy which I think kind of maps into this, but bear with me. I remember hearing about bicycle couriers, and in London particularly, and one guy had an accident, and he said he'd never had an accident before. He was kind of new into bicycle couriering, and he had an accident, and he survived it. He had an operation, I think, or what it may have been, but the point was he'd survived it. And the moment after that, he said he was a lot less scared. He knew he could achieve more. He could, continue to cycle, and he wouldn't be as worried about it. I think he said something like he felt he was superhuman in some form. I'm not asking you to go and have an accident on a bicycle. What I am offering to you to think about is that we need to expose ourselves to these issues, challenges, failures, so that we can grow. Having an optimistic approach is realizing that, is the extension of that. It's not about dwelling or pondering or having the issue, having the failure and then gripping onto it tightly to believe it. It's accepting it. It didn't work out. Now what are we going to do next? So with those couple of stories, I invite you to keep the first one in mind about the newborn baby and the mother's desire to keep the germs off the baby, because your initial reaction, I suspect, will be like insanity. Well, why would you want to do that? Why would you want to clean your baby? You need that contact. The baby needs all those things, germs, whatever they are, to develop and grow. Bear that in mind when you're facing a challenge or concerned about failure or having experienced some degree of failure. Bear in mind this is actually what you need. And keep on thinking that story. So I hope you get something from that. If you have, please smash that like button. And it's coming up to Christmas time. So please, if you've got questions or queries or something you want answered, and I'll do it confidentially through here or on Instagram, please drop them down in the comments or DM me, because I think it's great if we can share as a community more information. You never know if someone else could really get the same advice that you're after and benefit the whole community who are watching these videos. So yeah, please drop me a comment, hit the like button, and if you don't want to miss a video in the future, subscribe to the channel, which I much appreciate that. And other than that, I'll catch you next time.
This is how legends are made.